I don't know what to say. I really don't. I spent almost 3 hours watching Raw, screaming at my television set right now. Screaming the entire time. Happy and joy. So much joy when I saw Edge come out. Screaming because I was so happy. And also it was really, really great thinking that it was going to start off being the big signage, the big sign time for the main event for Extreme Rules with John Cena and Brock Lesnar. But no. It never turned out to be that way. Well, that was bound to happen. But it was a wake-up call. Edge came out to give a wake-up call to John Cena. You honestly thought that this was something that was going to bring his character up, light a fire in him. Like, yeah, I'm going to do this. You know, I had a slump and I'm going to do this. No, didn't happen at all. But that's what you thought in the beginning. You thought it was going to happen later, so it really wasn't that much of a big deal starting off. But I'm going to go into the things that I like, and then I'm going to go to the things I thought that sucked. Now, I have to say that the first match of the night, Jericho versus Kofi Kingston, was a great match. Great in-ring chemistry with these guys. Constant flow throughout the entire time. It went a lot longer than you expected, but it was still good. It wasn't bad. It was a great match. And I'm not going to go anything bad right now. I'm just going to go into all the things that were good. The match that I really did like, surprisingly enough, was Sheamus and Mark Henry. I actually did like that match a little bit. The reason why is because they actually did put Daniel Bryan in the middle to try to beef up that feud. I think that was actually a great idea for them to actually do that. I liked it. I really did like it. I also did like the Big Show and the Great Khali versus Alberto Del Rio and Cody Rhodes. I liked that match. I really did. It was the one thing that really impressed me was the fact that Cody Rhodes put the Big Show in a figure four leg lock. Like, seriously, I was really impressed to see the Big Show being put in the figure four leg lock. I really was highly impressed. And I guess I have to say that it wasn't so bad seeing the Funkasaurus out there with Hornswoggle as his little brother and Dolph Ziggler and the other guy, Jack Swagger out there. It wasn't so bad seeing that match either because it's always great to see the Funkasaurus. I mean, Funkasaurus is fun. But the one thing that I really did not like, and I'm going to go into the things I didn't like because I'm trying not to rant so much. Trying not to. Is the fact that I'm constantly seeing Dolph Ziggler being paired up with Jack Swagger, and I'm still seeing Vicky Guerrero around when she's not relevant anymore. She's not. I'm sorry. Not with Dolph Ziggler. With Jack Swagger maybe, but not Dolph Ziggler. Like, seriously, he needs to go off on his own. He should have went off on his own by now. And why on earth am I constantly seeing Mark Henry on my screen with the same freaking match night after night after night? Why? And I'm seeing on SmackDown again? What in the world is this guy doing to be given so many chances when he's getting stomped on every night? I mean, they should literally change the lyric in his entrance song instead of somebody, he should say, I'm gonna. Like, because it happens every single night. He gets his butt handed to him every single night. Just after he lost that belt to the Big Show and then to Daniel Bryan, after he lost his belt, he got beat up on the Big Show night after night. Then he got broke kicked by Sheamus not once but twice. What in the world is this man? I mean, he has no credibility. None whatsoever. So why is he getting all these chances? I don't get it. Don't get it at all. Not to mention the fact that Santino Marella versus Zack Ryder and the tag team champions Primo and Epico. I'm sorry. That match did absolutely nothing for either one of those guys. Like, seriously, did nothing for them. Because the match right now is considered a prop. And the reason why I'm saying is this. When they were overseas in Italy, the Booming Truth actually beat them. So why in the world is the Booming Truth not facing them at the pay-per-view? Or let alone facing them right now? Why in the world you got Santino Marella, who's already a champion, and Zack Ryder paired up with them? Why? There's no rhyme or reason for that. It did nothing for these guys. Absolutely nothing at all. It was just flat out stupid. And the one thing that was flat out stupid was the Lumberjill match. I'm sorry. It was dumb. It's bad enough I have to see Eve on my screen a lot more often than I want to. She ended up having a stupid Lumberjill match that Beth Phoenix ended up losing because she twisted her ankle trying to get down and lost it to Nikki Bella. Why couldn't they just end the match? Really, it's flat out stupid. I'm sorry, it was flat out, hands down stupid. And either that, and another thing that was really dumb, the fact that the Booming Truth was there. You got Kofi Kingston have a match first with Chris Jericho. Why in the world could Chris Jericho not fight somebody else and then have the Booming Truth face the tag team champions to be the number one contenders for the belt? For the titles. Instead, you have R-Truth being squashed by Lord Tensai. Lord frickin' Tensai. Now, I can go on for hours and hours about how much I can't stand this guy, but then that would be far too long. It'll take forever to load. So I'm not even going to go into Lord Tensai. I just know that match was crappy. They had segment after dumb segment after dumb segment the entire night, and the worst segment of them all, okay, the next to the worst, was the CM Punk segment. I have already said this about 1,000,000 times, how completely dumb this feud is starting to become. That they're going to start running out of steam, and it's going to run out of steam when the pay-per-view hits. This is the go-home show. They've already run out of steam. Chris Jericho constantly keeps talking about how drunk he is and all this other kind of crap, and then had an alcohol basket to give to CM Punk. Not only that, they had a live drug test. Okay, drunk test, my bad. Drunk test. Live. He had to walk a line and say the alphabet backwards. I'm going to be real. I'm sober right now and I can't even say the alphabet backwards. Who can say the alphabet backwards without literally thinking about it? But this was like the dumbest segment I've ever seen in my life, and it really did it didn't do anything to this feud. It did nothing to this feud. Seriously, this feud should have ended at WrestleMania. It should have ended at WrestleMania. It should have been done, and I'm hoping it'll be done at this pay-per-view because it was stupid. This whole thing was stupid, and it wasted my time, and it wasted my time with me watching this on my screen. And the fact of the matter is, they literally tried to bring laws and rules into it. And where the heck was David Otunga? I'd rather see him on my screen than Eve. But either or, this was a dumb segment. It was stupid, but it wasn't as stupid as the main event. I'm sorry. Hands down, that was the dumbest, stupidest segment I've ever seen in my life. The entire freaking night, all they did was promote Brock Lesnar. All they did was talk about Brock Lesnar's great moments, great triumphs, how he beat Hulk Hogan, how he beat Kurt Angle. All night, that's what they did. They even showed his promo that he did when they were in London. And then it comes to this. John Cena not coming out for like pretty much half of the entire night. Came out at the last moment that said nothing. The entire time, Brock Lesnar was a freaking prima donna talking about his demands and what he wants. And he's going to end up getting it from John Laurinaitis. People power. That was the dumbest segment I've ever seen in my life. Just starting off, I was going to give this entire Raw a B. But then after it started going downhill, I actually was going to give it a C. But now it's a D. I'm sorry. The main event spoiled the whole freaking thing for me. Plus the Divas match was stupid. The only thing that was a highlight was Kane. When Kane brought out the monster in Randy Orton. That was a highlight. A highlight. That brought that D starting off to a C. But then the main event, I'm sorry, ruined it for me. This is the go-home show. You're supposed to be promoting this. You're supposed to be making John Cena look somewhat strong. Not a weak punk going into this thing. Come on. A D. Flat out. That is my verdict, and I am sticking to it. Leave your comments down below. I want to hear what y'all views are. This is the Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace. Later.